We're going to go to David. He's LDS and from Salt Lake City. David, you're on Heart of the Matter.
Oh, hi.
Hi, David.
I was just wondering, you were talking about how Eve was glad that she sinned, and, like, you know what I'm talking about? You remember how you said that?
Glad that she sinned?
Glad that she sinned and broke God's law, and now that she has the knowledge that she can procreate, and she's glad to, be out here in sin while instead of in heaven. She's, you know what I'm saying?
That's from the Pearl of Great Price, yes.
Yeah. So I was just wondering, like, how could Eve really enjoy and have a full understanding of being in the garden? It says in the Bible that they were like children, right? And how could you know sweet without bitter? You know what I'm saying? Tasting bitter.
Yeah.
Or how could you know happiness without pain?
Yeah, that's a Book of Mormon teaching, and that's how Joseph described the reason for the fall, is that they wouldn't have known joy without pain. And so it was a good thing that they fell into pain through disobedience. But David, nowhere, the Bible doesn't say they were like children. That's an LDS teaching. That's a construct that they say, that they were like little babies who didn't understand anything. Remember that God brought all the animals that he created, and he had Adam name them. This guy was not he didn't call an elephant a blah blah and that a goo goo. I mean, he had articulate words for these animals. He had intelligence, and he was made in God's image, and he communicated with God. So Adam and Eve were not these blithering idiots. They lived in a state that would be akin to what you and I are hoping we will return to go to when we die, with God in heaven. Beautiful, paradisical, heavenly, without pain. We talk about all these same adjectives describing heaven. That is what the Garden of Eden was like.
So what do you think would happen? What would have happened if Eve didn't eat the fruit and Adam didn't eat the fruit? Would they have had children? We would have all just grown up in paradise?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same utopian idea that we have of heaven. And this was he created men and women in his image. He wanted fellowship and relationship with them, and he gave them a beautiful place to live. And God is not the author of pain and sin and rape and murder. He doesn't want that. He never wanted
evil. Yeah, I know that God does not want that to happen. I understand that.
Yeah, so the fall, bringing sin and death into the world, could not have been his idea, his plan. His plan was a utopian idea for people to love and get along and live with him as their guide. So that's what would have happened, and they could have procreated.
Yeah, so if that would have happened, there would be no Jesus Christ then, right?
If that would have happened, there would have been no Jesus Christ, yeah. But God, who knew all things from the foundation of the world, knew that it would happen. But he did not want it to happen.
Okay. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So, and then you said that right then you said this is the biggest flaw in Mormon, like, contradiction to Adam and Eve, and that Satan, why would he do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why would he tempt them to fall if he knew that was God's plan?
Right.
You're assuming that Satan knew God.
Well,
he knows how he thinks. He knows all God's plans. God knows everything. Why would Satan know that?
Well,
Maybe
David, have you been through the LDS temple?
No.
Okay, well, if you go through there, God comes to Satan in the Garden of Eden in the film, and he says to Satan, "What are you doing?" And Satan says, "That which I've done in other worlds." So Satan was fully aware, according to the Mormon temple, what he was doing and why. So, you know, it absolutely is a huge fissure in the idea of the Mormons' concept of the fall and Adam and Eve and doing what they did.
Okay.
Hey, man, thanks for the call.
Yeah, thanks for the answers, man.
Take care. Bye-bye.